Does it boggle your mind that it's still out there 50 years later, coming out in 4K DVD sets, and it didn't just kind of disappear with history? Or did you think it was going somewhere from the very start?
I knew it was going to go because of Dawn of the Dead. None of my other films, including maybe Street Trash, have had that kind of a life. The film had a tremendous successful life because no distributor in the world would pick up Dawn of the Dead unless they had documents. It was very important to have an hour-long supplement that discussed the film you were seeing. So they would keep waiting and they'd license it from me, you know. And it was, yeah, it's still being sold. I knew, thank you for the 7 cents. But does that answer your question? It was, I'm telling you, people say, very modestly, people tell me I'm blessed. Well, I think not picking Earl Owensby, you know, was a blessing of some kind. And then just having documented the dead and, you know, which just had a life forever and would mean my film would also.
We have time for one more question.
I mentioned what you mentioned to me, which was that there's going to be filming in this mall for a final act of Document of the Day.
Awesome. Wow.
So, to your point that you just made about Document of the Dead being such a supplement, like an important supplemental piece of material, because there actually was so little behind the scenes material from the making of the movie, I wanted to ask, I mean, Richard Rubenstein has a certain reputation as a shrewd producer, I would say. What were the negotiations like going into being able to shoot the original, you know, production here when you came for the first time?
What was like Rubenstein like?
Yeah, what were the negotiations like, you know, getting the permissions to come in and do it? And were you given any like specific set of like guidelines or parameters?
I think you mentioned about.
Well, as I told you, they made us crawl on our stomachs, on our bellies, you know. So he was trying to protect George at all costs, you know, and that became difficult when you're dealing with 50 or 100 extras, you know. Now, I always maintain that the secret of George's low-key, warm approach was that he was 6'4". Everyone could see him. When I was getting ready to do the pie scene, he was somewhere else, maybe 150 feet away, and I could see his head just moving along, you know? And he would just drop out the orders to people, and it just was, he was the right guy for the right project. What else?
I think we're going to wrap up now.
Oh, we're going to wrap up?
But I'm going to add on this note, I think the way that they talk about, or at least Rick Baker has talked about how the making of the Thriller music video was hugely influential to makeup people. They watched that and they realized that's what they wanted to do. I think probably a lot of people watched the making of watched Document of the Dead and influenced them to make filmmakers. So I think it's one of the big influential documentaries we have in filmmaking history. So, so thank you for that, Roy.
Yeah.
And thank you all. Yeah.